All right, we're ready.
All right. Hey, y'all.
Hey, hey, hey.
My apologies for being late, but it wouldn't be a true artist talk if one artist wasn't. No, my daughter had dance in Wilkesboro. I didn't realize how far that was until this morning. Happy Saturday. It's a wonderful, amazing Saturday
Yeah.
right here at Vapa. Having the Vapalution happening all at once. We have an amazing panel here today. We're going to have some questions for them, and I hope y'all have some questions as well. My name is Blues. I'll be your moderator for this afternoon. Um, we'll kind of jump into it. Well, I'll ask the first question, and then what I'd like for y'all to do is sort of introduce yourselves and then answer the question. So you have to answer this first one. Whether you answer the other ones or not is
All of
inconsequential.
us.
All of you. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially those who wear a Vapa t-shirt and have the official look. Yeah? Okay.
I am.
All right. So the first question for our amazing panel of artists here is, as we gather here today, what are some of the key milestones or achievements that come to mind when reflecting on how far we've come as a community, organization, society? So, what is the journey?
Uh, Ron. I got it. I am Arthur Rogers. I'm the executive director for the Visual and Performing Arts Center. We call it Vapa Center. Yeah, so this is our second year anniversary.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Come on,
ooh,
2 years.
it's a major milestone for us. We now have over 360 artists in the building, over 3 floors, 158,000 square feet. So that's an accomplishment on its
Yeah.
own. So,
I am Ron Baldwin. I am CFO, Finance Officer, and Operating Officer of Jazz Art Charlotte, a founding member of Vapa. And excuse my eyes, the lights are getting to me. And I'm currently the board chair. But milestones, being here for second anniversary. If, if you guys, most of you guys weren't here when we first took over the building, and the county said we can have it, and they were going to clean it out, and then they determined we were going to do it. It took a lot of man hours of people coming in all throughout the week to get this building cleared out so that we can inhabit it. So the milestones are getting the lease signed with the county, the tenants moving in, um, opening up the building to the public, and now we're doing it. This is our second year doing it. We see a lot of support from the public. We see some contributed revenue for various organizations, including CCCP, funding from North Carolina Arts Council, and it's allowing us to be able to offer spaces to tenants at rates well below market value in the area. So I see those terrific milestones.
I'm Lee Williams. I'm one of the visual artists here with the studio space and had the privilege of being one of the first ones in. So I've seen tremendous change, as Ron was talking about. The facility was nothing like it is today in what we were able to clear out and make our own space. I think seeing so many of us come together, working together to make it happen has just been phenomenal.
I'm Jojo Copeland. I'm also a tenant and artist here, portrait artist. I have not been here since the beginning. I started, I think I came in about a year ago, February. So for me, I didn't see the process from the beginning, but I would say just watching the communities form and watching things settle and people, you know, uh, forming their own collective. I've seen a lot of that over the past year. For me, just watching that process has been a big milestone.
Wonderful answers. I guess as I've been watching from its inception, and you spoke to it earlier, when the building was turned over to the tenants, there was the idea and thought that the county was going to clean the place out, and they were like, "Nah, y'all got it." And what happened was this amazing call to the entire Charlotte community, and people were just showing up to like, "Yo,
right.
I will haul away this cabinet because I need a cabinet." Um, I think that's this idea of repurposing some of the resources that were here is in the essence of what this place
Well,
is.
one of the caveats is that we couldn't give it away.
Right.
We either had to use it or it had to go to recycling. So a lot of the artists they showed up every day. Um, we had about 5 58-yard double stacked dumpsters, giant ones, that we filled up every day. About in about 3 hours, we filled all five of them up. They'd haul them off that day, bring back another one the next day. That went on for 3.5 months. But that work ethic, that effort, that collective effort, it kind of bonded us
Hmm.
because it kind of made us feel like we're all into this together.
Right.
That somebody wasn't just handing something to them; they had to work for it, and then not one complained about it. It was just like, okay, what else do we need? What else do we have to do?
Because this place was so needed. It was the biggest hole in the creative Charlotte creative community that we have spoke to years. Like we need a space, we need a district, we need something that speaks to the art, and then here comes Vapa in
Right.
this big way. So progress and challenges. What are some of the most significant advancements or changes that have occurred in the past year, and what challenges have y'all faced along the way? I know that is a loaded question.
um, well, this is an 80-year-old building.
Mm.
Over
80?
80-year-old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's a fighter. Um, and vindictive. Last year, we had the unfortunate situation of going the entire summer without air conditioning.
I remember that.
Yeah. So and that speaks to the character of the people in the building, the artists in the building, because they came anyway. They brought in fans. We opened the doors. We did whatever we could to survive that. So we got through that situation. Um, and again, it kind of bonded us because now we have a story to tell. We all have that shared experience. So
Mm.
um, that was one of the biggest challenges last year because my every day I walked in the door, or someone see me on the street. You got air conditioning yet? And I'm like, no, no, no. But yeah, so that was one of the big challenges that we got over.
Indeed.
I guess we'll go.
Yes.
Yeah.
In addition, from a higher level up at the board level, we deal with, I refer back to it now as Arthur's, what you call it, three phases
The
or
three seasons.
three
Yeah.
seasons.
Hmm.
We're in season one. We got the building open. There is a lot of work we're going to have to do to meet the occupancy code. We have numbers. We're not ready to share those yet because we need to see what the county is going to do. We got their uh, redo the fire alarm system and everything. And then phase two, what's going to happen after that point? Because at some point, with the changes coming in North Charlotte, this building is going to go down. It's just not feasible to keep it running, and it just costs too much money. It's too old. But right quick, does anybody know what this building was before?
Yeah.
A Sears Roebuck. I still try to visualize that as I walk through here. But what's going to happen? And I'm working with county and city stakeholders now is to try to figure out what's the phase two plan, and then phase three is the new space after that. So, uh, but as far as the last year, it's just dealing with everything we got to do to get that occupancy code we need to get so we can stay afloat and keep running in this building until we get to that 7 year period.
I think a couple things come to my mind. One, the first we talk about with the building, thinking of what's happened, making a Sears and Roebuck look like an art center. And what we've been able to do even outside, having the contest and putting panels of art so it's visible, people driving by. There's sculptures out there, thanks to Lori, so it's looking outside like an art building.
Mm.
And what's happened inside in this last year is phenomenal. I mean, there's art on every level. And so people coming in instantly can relate. And that was a real challenge to convert this building. And I think, like we've been talking about, the teamwork and coming together to make it happen has really bonded all of us as well. And then I think the other is communication. With now 300 and some people I've seen in the last year, We've got regular tenant meetings. We have open board meetings. We've got Slack channel so that we can all communicate to with each other and also bring collaboration and know what the expectations are for the tenants as well. So those were challenges that I think we're doing a good job in overcoming.
I'll piggyback off what she said because I was thinking the same thing. In the year that I've been here, the biggest challenge from an artist perspective that I've seen was this building did not look like a creative space. I mean, it did, but in the past year, it's improved a lot. Just from the aesthetics to the signage and getting all the floors painted and getting artwork up and having like a cohesive vision of uh, a cohesive, I guess, theme throughout the
Hmm.
building. That has improved tremendously since I've been here, and I know I can name 2 dozen people who have helped make that happen. But for me, that was a big challenge that I think we've mostly overcome. I think that will continue. Very proud of that.
And that sort of leads into this next question of innovation and adaptation. In what ways has the space and y'all innovated or adapted to overcome obstacles and seize opportunities? We kind of laughed at the idea of what you had to overcome, but how, in what innovative and adaptive ways have you overcome? Uh, and I guess also, what does the future look like?
Right. Um, well, as we've stated, this building is uh, or was a Sears. I guess it's still a Sears in its core.
I'm still
Um,
trying to picture that too.
yeah,
Like,
1949, they'll open the doors. So this is really, early mid 1940s construction technology,
mm,
and the original freight elevators are still in here working. So this building became the county services building in 1980. So the current configuration of walls that you see now, HVAC, lighting, all that stuff, was put in the building in 1980 up until 2015, 16-ish. They One Friday they came in and told everybody leave everything where it is, take your personal belongings, go to the what's now or was the Freedom Mall, which is now Valerie Woodard, and you'll go to work Monday there. And so literally they left everything that was here for
wow.
us. So and I say that again because this building was never intended to house artists. So the challenges that we faced, the innovation that we face, um, it's happening and it's still yet to come because again it wasn't meant for artists. So there's spaces that I'm having to hold the artists back literally every day, saying no, you can't do that yet. Hang on a second, you can't change that. You can't put that in. You can't put the. You just can't do that yet because uh, fire codes, safety codes,
Mhm.
occupancy codes. So a lot of the artists have taken that opportunity to be creative and find ways to make the spaces work for what they need. JoJo is one. All of this carpet and stuff that you see on the floor was put in by the county. There is what's called terrazzo underneath it, and it's like a decorative concrete, 2.5, 2 feet thick, and there's glue underneath the carpet. We fought and fought and fought trying to get this carpet up and the glue up. Here comes JoJo. I go into his space and it's spotless. The floor is clean. I'm like, what the hell
Jojo,
did
what
you
you do, Jojo?
exactly? So we trying all these machines. We're renting all this stuff and getting these chemicals and stuff. And JoJo said, just let water sit on the glue and come out. So I mean, it's just it's creative thinking, out of the box thinking that makes things work. And yeah, so his floors are like
Let me
spotless.
tell you how I see this. Y'all are in here sweating, ripping up, trying to get it up. Jojo walks in, looks at y'all, mm,
Mm,
goes back to his space, and comes back like, all you need is some water.
that's
Y'all
it.
doing too
That's it.
much.
I'm like, yeah. So he just let water sit on the glue, and everybody else has done it since then. That's what they've done. They just let the water sit on it a little bit with just a little bit of chemical in it, and it just that water just takes that glue right on up.
Amazing.
So innovation like this space flips a lot. 989 Studio Gallery, that space flips a lot. We've had concerts over there. We've had concerts over here. Artist talks here, classes, fashion shows. we're finding ways to take advantage of the size of the space
Mm-hmm.
and then figure out innovative ways to make it work for us.
Right.
We've instituted some galleries, named galleries throughout the space to help the artists show their work. We have Charlotte's off Broadway, which is a 65 seat um, black box theater um, that that this space wasn't designed to do. So
Mm.
there are a lot of things that are happening in this space. We've got DJ Academy, we've got a dance studio, we have recording studios, um, painting spaces, fabric spaces. I mean, it's a lot is here, but the innovation is coming from people like Jojo, creative minds that are thinking outside the box.
Okay, let somebody else talk.
Okay, I'm
You're
sorry.
you're giving away all the answers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I get
um,
on a roll. I can't stop.
that's fine. Not so much innovative, but on something Arthur was talking about. What I've seen us in overcoming, and maybe some innovation in that is, as Arthur said, this space is not intended for what how we're using it. CCTT is right there. Charles South Broadway is over there, and they're both bothered if there's a lot of music amplified sound going on in here. And what the artists have done is work together and worked out the scheduling so that we can have everything that we can rent this space out to who need it. It doesn't interfere with Charlotte Comedy Theater. It doesn't interfere with Charlotte Off Broadway. When DJ up on the second floor started doing his education, music education classes, he didn't realize that we had our Latin Jazz Ensemble, which is a big band Latin jazz student organization on Tuesday nights. And we kind of worked through that so that he's giving his lessons, and then we're not interfering with him. And then uh, he's not interfering with us when we have our jazz rehearsals. And by the way, he's a pretty good teacher because I listen to his kids play when I'm sitting in my office, and they're pretty amazing. So,
I was going to say that. I get the privilege. I'm on the second floor, so I get to hear the students in jazz art play. So you get the benefit of these other art forms that you can enjoy. And I think that leads to some innovation. I've seen a lot of collaborations happening here. Um, I think right now there's a canvas hanging up back, what your space, Joanne, where a couple artists are painting, taking turns, and how they react to each other on that. And, I think it's going to host what Shout. We'll have things for Shout
Right.
here, and so we see artwork being prepared for that. I've had, I think we had last Shout. We did a innovative thing with a number of artists, Queen City Towers, and got to paint on
Right.
that. So there's a lot of innovation for personal artists too that work out.
Um, I guess I could speak to just the management of this place. Uh, Arthur said we're pushing what close to 400,
Yeah,
getting close to 400
360
now.
plus.
I do management for a living, and I've managed up to 75 or 80 people. I have no idea how you manage almost 400 artists.
Artists.
Me either.
It's not just people, it's
Artists,
artists.
Yeah.
artists with egos and
Yeah.
you know everything else that goes with being a creative person. So one of the things I've seen that I consider innovation is watching how this place is run evolve. Because we all know we've seen Arthur practically kill himself trying to keep everything going and take care of problems in the building and answer questions. What I've seen over the last year is a lot of artists and a lot of tenants take initiative. I mean, with permission, of course. Uh, as far as cleaning up spaces, like he said, modifying their rooms in any way they need to within the rules. I've seen a lot of that. I've seen communities just form and take on challenges, uh, so that, in my opinion, it takes some of the burden off of the committees and off of Arthur and Joanne. So I've seen a lot of innovation in that area where people just take initiative, uh, do things themselves, paint walls, fix holes in walls, also. So that is a greatly innovative thing that I've seen that like I think it goes under the radar a lot. So I did want to acknowledge all the artists in the building for doing that.
Absolutely.
And one other thing is, you mentioned Joanne, just what has happened in her space over the past year. We've had a lot of outside influence come in and exhibit things. We had a big fashion show earlier. in its fiscal year, and now we've got
Seeing
Seeing
Auschwitz.
yeah,
Auschwitz,
display going on. So it's bringing outside people, getting attention to outside people to Vapa Center.
which I learned about seeing Auschwitz in real time because I came to the wrong space. I
Yeah.
assumed that we were going to be over in 1989. I walk in and I'm like, okay, there's a wall here. I
Yeah.
figure if I just walk around, I'll find an entrance. And I'm like, y'all be flipping this
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
But once I got inside the exhibit, I'm like, that is amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that's a testament to the adaptation of what artists can do and who they are and what they can do with space.
Yeah.
In a Sears and Roebuck that was never intended to be what it was supposed to be, here we are surrounded by so much art and energy. So I wanna jump down to celebrating success. What are some of the achievements or successes that you're particularly proud of, and how do these accomplishments reflect the values and mission? So, what are you giving it? What's the success, man?
Let's go that way
Let's
first.
start with JoJo. Let's start with JoJo. Celebrating success, man. Like, what are you proud of, especially being in this space?
Somebody mentioned earlier that just the aesthetics of the building and
Mhm.
having the murals put up outside. This did not look like a space where
You can.
there was a
Yeah.
lot of creative stuff going on, but just seeing that transformation, that to me has been eye opening. Like I said, I've been here for a year, and this is a huge difference between now and the way it looked before.
Mm.
But to me, yeah, that's a big.
I think a big success is being available to the community. I've seen a lot of groups coming in, whether it's a school group or people just interested in it, and they're able to tour the building, visit with the artists, ask their questions, and hopefully we're going to have even more interaction with the community. But I've seen a lot of that. So I think that's a big success of why we're here. What does art do for a community? I mean, you get us all together and think of the impact we are having and will have on Charlotte.
Mm.
It's exciting.
Also, seeing our committees do a bunch of great work. We had our first crown ball this past Christmas, and so many people came. The medieval thing, and somehow I missed the theme. I just wore a suit. Uh, Everybody that was dressed up in that medieval thing, that was pretty awesome to see. And then we got to have our picture taken with the queen,
Mhm.
the queen. That was about having that first ball, and I know a lot of time went into it, but from a dollars and cents, what came in and went out the door. Congratulations, Vapa had his first ball and didn't lose money, and that's a rarity that doesn't happen. And then just I would like also successes to see more live programming come here from the performance side. We got amazing visual artists here. You just walk around and look at the walls. But just to somehow we got CCT, Charlotte Off Broadway does some production. We have our light jazz rehearsal. We did start Weebop back this year. We brought it back. It's jazz for toddlers. The course was written by Columbia University and Jazz at Lincoln Center, and we're in our fourth week, and it's written so in week 4 and 8 you bring in additional musicians. So I saw it, the first one I saw this weekend. It just to see those little 3, 4, 5 year olds just have fun. And one parent told me that her kid already has his two favorite jazz tunes, and I'm trying to comprehend that. So a kid at 3 or 4 years old having their favorite jazz tunes,
Mm.
but I would like to see more programming like that, more of the performance arts come back.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have a saying here at the Vapa Center: art every day. Because here at the Vapa Center, art is a verb. It's an action.
Right.
It's what we do. And for me, the thing that I want to celebrate is that you can come in here pretty much any time during the day, even in the night, and there's somebody here making art. Um, I pulled in this morning and there was one car in the parking lot. I was like, I can't remember the last time I've seen that, where it was just one car in the parking lot. Because I can come here 10, 11 at night. There's still about 10 to 12 cars out there. Somebody's in here doing some work. But for us, um, just celebrating Vafa itself,
Mm.
um, what we've achieved in the short amount of time. Um, when we first started pushing this idea around, Uh, Everyone told us no, it'll never happen. Not sure. And here we are. And then to see where we are in 2 years. In 2 years, we have won twice Best in the Nest. Our first year, we were voted the best new art space.
Mm.
And in the second year, we were the best art space in general. Um, we have won fourth ward. This year, we won the fourth ward best in business. Our first year, we were gifted a innovation fund grant, $50,000. We hadn't put one person in the building. They saw what we were attempting to do. We have received grants from Women's Impact Fund, Arts and Science Council, North Carolina Arts Council, Spark the Arts Grant. Again, these grants are huge in the competition that we're up against, and we got them in our first and second year.
Yes.
And then this year, I just announced to the Vapa community on April 3rd, we'll be receiving a Vision Award from the City of Charlotte, from the City Partners.
Come
So every
on.
year they do that Vision Award. If you're not familiar with the Vision Award, the only thing I can equate it to that you can understand it is it's equivalent to the Oscars for
Hmm.
Charlotte. So here we are getting this Vision Award in year two. That's unheard of. And so we should be celebrating what we're all doing together uh, in this space. And we couldn't do it without the support of each and every artist in the building, each and every community organization that comes in and supports us, the city, and definitely Mecklenburg County. So shouts out to Mecklenburg County.
I love that, man. I was gonna get into this next part, but seeing and being a part of this um, creative ecosystem, I know what it is. It's one thing to be just up against the wall, but half the time you're fighting against the county, you're fighting against the powers that be that don't believe in what you're doing, right?
Yeah,
Often, especially here in Charlotte,
yeah.
it's always they don't believe it till they see it, and then when you prove it to them, then they're all like, "Hey, we want to." You're like, where was that energy when I
Yeah.
was hauling
Well,
around cabinets and whatnot? But what I've seen with this space again is the amount of faith and belief and hard work that goes into what you're doing.
right.
But that's just a testament of who you are, right? And what you know about where you live and what you want to impact and how you want to impact the community you serve. So I say congratulations to not giving up, to thumbing your nose in the face of the naysayers, because naysayers gonna naysay nay for
No,
sure.
that's it. That's it.
Um, and then the next thing you know, you're getting a vision award, and they're gonna be like, "I knew it all the time."
Yeah,
Man, no,
yeah.
you didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, um,
Well,
but
well,
people say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. I say if you can make it in Charlotte, you can make it
yeah,
anywhere.
yeah. Well, the other thing to that is, they say no or they don't believe in it because they haven't seen it. And a lot of times you can't go somewhere you haven't seen it.
Hmm.
And so I don't I use that as energy to keep going to
Right.
show them that it can be done because if not us now it's going to happen. It would have happened
Right.
at some point. So it was inevitable. We were just in the right place at the right time to answer that call to push this forward. So
I love it. I love it. Okay, so that sort of leads me into recognition and gratitude. You gave
hmm
some recognition and gratitude, but for the rest of y'all, who are the individuals or teams that have played a significant role in your progress, and how can we show our appreciation to those folks?
Um, I want to go first this time before someone beat me to it. Uh,
Hmm.
we had, was it 11 founding members, 12,
13.
13 founding members. You have the ones that are still here, and we still want to give big thanks to McCall Center, Charlotte's Off Broadway, excuse me, McCall Center, Charlotte Ballet, Gay Men's Chorus,
Right.
and the Black Market Charlotte
Yep.
was also founded. They were in here moving out equipment and so forth to help us get going. But foremost, this man right here
Yeah.
gets a big recognition. Um, you know, us tenants all have our own spaces that we have to work on it and keep running. And we don't have quite the time to put in that he has here, being executive director. And he's had to put up with a lot of crap from different people. He has to put up with me being impatient sometimes, but he doesn't. And he always gets you what you need at some point. And without someone as diligent as this, I'm not sure we'd be where we are today.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I definitely thank the founding members, the board members, because when this whole idea was presented to us, it was presented to 26 different artists and arts organizations, and 13 said, "Hell no, we're out, we're gone." And then it was just the 13 that he talked about. We met every Saturday for a year
For 2 hours.
for 2 hours to hash out because basically we got together and formed a business. 13 different people got together and formed a fiduciary business, financial obligated business. That's crazy. I wouldn't go into business with my brother. Why would I go into business with 13 strangers? But we did it. We worked it out. So definitely thanks to them, and they became board members, and they are the ones who kind of helped steer this. I had no experience in doing this. I'm an artist first, um, multimedia designer second, project manager third. I had never done this before,
Mm.
but it's people like Ron who give his expertise in running a nonprofit from a financial standpoint. It's like Joanne who has her vision, her eternal optimism. Um, uh, Kelly with her comedy, her industry. I mean, I can keep going on down the line of naming all the board members, but it was them that helped form all this. But the real heart of all of this are these people out here in the audience and in attendance in the building because they're the ones who stepped up. So uh, definitely want to celebrate them and appreciate them for what they've done. Um, yeah, day one was just like I said. I've been having to hold them back. They want to keep going. They want to keep pushing this forward. But it's really what we've accomplished is a result of the tenants. No question about.
Indeed.
Well, I'd have to echo that. I mean, when I heard the story of meeting for over a year, every to just to have this vision was phenomenal, and just a thank you for the founding members and the board and the vision that was cast and then shared with us as artists and tenants. And also for the tenants, I'm thinking of we have such a range here. I don't think you could go anywhere to have such diversity and also
Right.
talent. And the talent ranges from emerging artists to very established artists, but everybody is so positive and so reaffirming and working together. I mean, that to me is worth celebrating.
Yeah. I can't say any more than they've already said about the board of directors, Arthur and Joanne, all the committees. I know there's a lot of
Oh yeah,
people on committees
yeah.
who put in a lot of hard work
The
that we don't
program
even see.
committee. Well,
Yeah,
shouts out to the program committee who put this together.
yeah,
Yep. Without them, this
yeah.
wouldn't happen.
Put all these events together. A lot of the
Hmm.
stuff they do, we don't even hear about. But the
Hmm.
committees definitely do a good job. And I would also say, I mean, all the tenants at Vapa have contributed, but we all know that there are certain tenants who
Oh
have
yeah.
been here from day one, cleaning the building, organizing things. I mean, I wish Elise has been a big one.
Yeah. Big
I see
part of that.
several people in the audience. I know Bunny,
Hmm.
Ani. I can't name them all, but I see it myself. There's some
Right.
people here who are tenants who have just taken on, in a way, leadership role
Right.
and just pushed this place forward. So,
Well, also I'd like to thank the board for what they've allowed me to do in hiring two additional people. I
yeah,
walked through the building this morning, and I was like, "This place is clean. It's organized." And then that's a direct reflection of having two additional people, Courtney, Derek Dantine, to help organize this because
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I was going to
um,
say them too because they've been
they've
huge.
been on it.
Yeah,
They've been doing a
yeah.
great job. Yeah,
And the plan was to have three more.
yeah, we're
But
working on
the
that.
county, I guess, communicated that they would have the fencing done by last August.
Yeah,
And here it is. March is not quite done yet, so maybe next year budget will add additional staff
And the front desk person.
because we wanted to keep the place safe, so we had the additional security in the evenings. That's why.
Right.
Which I think is another thing. Like, if it's sort of the elephant in the room was this issue of safety, you know. But it looks like it's been addressed, and it's also looked like y'all been able to be good neighbors
Right.
with folks who are experiencing homelessness. But y'all are saying as long as everybody's
Right.
cool, which I
Yeah.
think is another really unique character to this space. Like come in cool, and it's always gonna be cool. I want to get us back on time for the
Mhm.
day. How much time do we have left?
That would be none.
Oh, okay, cool.
I know.
All right.
But if you gotta go, you go.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that if any of the audience had questions for this panel, I would
Yeah.
love to get to
Questions or
that.
comments?
Yes.
Wait. We got for the people at home, buddy. The microphone right there. Yeah. Well, the people at home got to hear too.
Oh, that's right. This 2024, all this technology is happening. We are worldwide. Okay.
It's not on. You got to turn it on. Push your button up. Straight up. Push your button. No, look at it. All the way up. There you
It wasn't really so much a question. I did want to tell Arthur how much I appreciate him because we can be kind of problem
Yeah.
kids in our little block. We are always asking, like, every other day was like, can we do this? Can we do that? And he's like, yeah, wait a minute. What are y'all doing? What are
Yeah.
y'all doing down there? So I thank you.
Yeah, no
Thank
problem.
you.
Thank you for not burning the building down. That's all.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, if you have a question, go ahead and line up at the microphone.
Make it go a
Jump
little
into it.
quicker.
For anyone on the panel, does anyone have any plugins for any performances they're doing later today?
I know Blues is on the stage later.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
gonna be an amazing group of artists who are gonna touch the stage today. I saw Kenya Templeton in here somewhere, but yeah, it's we're all gonna do some pretty amazing stuff. I feel like there'll be some collaborative things that will happen. So it's this organic thing, you know. We get
Yeah.
together, we just kind of see what happens. We all have a
Collaborative
plan.
collisions, as we call it.
Yeah, there you go. We all
Mhm.
have these plans for our sets, but then, you know, a legend shows up. You're like, well, definitely got to work with Kenya today at some
Yeah.
point in time in my life. So, yeah, there will be things happening. So stick around.
Yeah. So also, following this will be an artist talk um, coming up featuring Rebecca Lips. Well, I can't remember the other two. Who are they?
Meredith Connolly
That's
and
right.
Super Deaf Bros.
Yep, Super Daft Bros. I'm looking forward to that actually. So, yeah.
I'll
Do we
be
have
doing
another
it.
question?
I'll be doing a demo up in my studio on the second floor as well. So
Mhm.
alcohol ink, but isopropanol alcohol just to keep you straight.
Yeah. You want
I,
to drink it?
I I had a whole different vision. I mean, like, this is about to be the best demo I've ever seen in my life.
Okay. I'd just like to say there's a list at the front desk of everything that's going on throughout the building. There's always spur of the moment stuff happening. There's 3 floors. Please, everyone,
Wait,
just
wait,
go.
wait. Who are you?
I'm Joanne Rogers, 9829 Studio Gallery,
Okay.
founding member, yada yada, board member.
Okay.
A lover of all of these artists. It's incredible to be here. It's exciting every day, even through the problems. We love it that everyone's here. Thankful for our community that's supporting us, and very thankful for these artists that are growing along with us through all the growing pains. We kind of evolved. We continue to evolve and work with each other, and look what we've done. So celebrate with us again. Thank you.
Amazing.
And I'll just add, it's not a live performance, but if you didn't get enough of the wonderful chocolate cake they had out there, if you come by Jazz Arts, we have snacks, we have drinks, and we have a video collage of our education programs and performances from the jazz room.
But side note, Ron is straight laced CPA. He's by the book, but this guy is an amazing creative. He's a baker. This guy makes cakes like you would not believe. I know he doesn't want me putting that out there, but that's what amazing cakes. Amazing.
I have
Well,
a
for anybody who didn't realize there's CPA other than your accounting and finance power also mean cut, paste, and simple. So
Okay.
Judge.
I I currently have a solo exhibit downstairs in the Amber Gallery. So if you have time, check that out. I love getting feedback, sign the guest book.
Buy
For
some
sure.
art.
Yeah, buy some art if
Yeah,
you want
yeah,
to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything on the walls are for sale.
Yeah.
Let us know what you need.
It's on. Go ahead.
No, like,
Okay.
no, 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 no.
you're too
Um,
young for that to happen. That happens to me.
it's just ADHD.
Yeah.
No, I'm just as I was sitting back, maybe it's already got touched on, and I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but it's so rare that the board members and the executive director are in the same room, and I've always heard this story of y'all are the founding members and y'all have like known each other for X amount of years. Like, how long have y'all been in communication and or worked together?
Arthur and I met on the first time we met on a Zoom call about Vapa Center. As you know, they closed down Spirit Square. That doesn't exist anymore, and Spectrum still wants to send us stuff to Spirit Square. I can't figure that one out. But so that first video call we had, that we participated because they kind of got our email addresses incorrect. So for about a month or two, we didn't participate, and that's when we met each other.
Right.
And we've been working together ever since. So.
Yeah. So all of us, we had never. I'm trying to think of the 13 members. No, I didn't know any of
I mean, I knew
them.
some of
None of
the
them.
other organizations, McCall and
Right.
Charlotte Ballet, but as far as everybody else here, I didn't.
Didn't know. Didn't, from a can of paint. Didn't know any of them. And so, yeah, it was amazing from that very first day. Yeah, we had some people walk out because when we gave them the concept of what we were going to do, few of them had reservations about going into another county building after what, getting the rug pulled out of them from underneath them with Spirit Square. They were like, we're not going to allow that to happen again. Uh, but we just kept pushing along and trusting one another because we needed this. I mean, we absolutely needed this. But um, I joke about it a lot now, but all of us got together and they said, well, one of you guys have got to step up and run this whole thing because the county said they didn't want any parts of it. So my better half kind of just said, oh, I know somebody that can do it. So, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I guess so. I'll take it. I'll wear it. I'll own it. But yeah, it just kind of evolved, and not kind of to take ownership on it. But Joanne and I have been trying to do this on our own um, before the county came and presented this opportunity. And quite frankly, other organizations in the city were discussing the same thing, but no one seemed to be able to pull it all together to do it. And 13 of us got together and just we just refused to let it go. We just wouldn't not let it happen. So, yeah, but we didn't know any of them.
We have a question or a comment.
Both. I am a wife of an artist, and when AJ was part of the contest of the portraits outside, of course, I had to brag. You can actually see the front of Vapa from my office at Bank of America. So
Wow.
I'm on the
Take a
22nd floor.
picture.
I need, I want a new photographer.
Take it.
So,
Keep her camera.
so when his piece was out there and I had to brag. So, 22nd floor, I was like, oh, that building right there, you see it? And like, what is that building? Yeah, I know what building you're talking about. I've seen the art, I've seen the mural, but what is it? And then I get stumped. I understand the dynamic of what happens here, and I find it challenging to explain that to someone who doesn't know. So that's my question. Whenever you explain to Vapa, when you explain Vapa to those community members, what do you say? What's your elevator speech to get the community in to explain how impactful it can be? So what's your elevator speech?
It's a great question.
Wow.
Can we be honest and say we're working on that?
Yeah, yeah.
We know we need it, but
That's the project manager.
the first 2 years is getting this thing up and running. But yeah, because we got to raise a lot of money, and you do that, you need an elevator speech, and we've had consultants. I can never remember his name. For our
Cool
strategic,
Springs.
Cool Springs, with
Hmm.
our strategic
Charles
plan.
Page.
Um, we're working on putting together stakeholders, and we're working on the elevator speech that everyone needs to have in place. So when we're talking to people about raising money uh, and what's going on in Vapa, because to be able to raise money, we're going to have to talk about what is Vapa all about. So uh, and when I say working on, we want it to be consistent across the board. That's why we're working on
Right.
Can
Well,
I try a little bit? Can I tell you what I tell people?
it. Yeah.
Because I'm forever talking about VAPA. This is a visual and performing arts center. It is 158,000 square feet, 3 floors, visual and performing artists and arts organization. Our mission is to create affordable spaces for workspace and creative spaces for artists, and nurture the relationship between the artist and community. So we're a very outward facing organization that does programming from within to serve our community and to help the artists grow a sustainable arts business.
right.
So that's what I have.
So, right. And so the other part that I it depends on how far the elevator's going. So I get a little bit more time. Well, 20 seconds now, we're going all the way to the top. Um, is this isn't new.
Right.
The Vapa Center is not new. You've got places called the Performing and Visual Arts Center. There's spaces in Des Moines, Iowa. Shout out to Mainframe, to Art Space in Raleigh, Clearwater, um, Torpedo Factory in Alexandria. I mean, it's not new. It's just new to Charlotte.
Mm.
And again, they haven't seen it. But I think we are doing things that a lot of other spaces that I mentioned aren't doing.
Right.
Um, I mentioned the Performing and Visual Arts Center, but the other ones separate the two. But we found a way we're bound in our charter to have those two together. So yeah, it's not anything new. Just new to Charlotte.
Anybody else?
Well, before
Jojo?
we end, you talked about the future. What
I
is that?
did. There was two questions I wanted to ask
Okay,
y'all
go
before
ahead.
we got in. Sustainability and
Uh,
responsibility. In what ways have y'all demonstrated your commitment to sustainability and corporate social responsibility, and how are these efforts aligned with the long-term vision? It's a real complicated question.
yeah, you went deep on that. Say that again. No, I'm joking. um, how we're bound to that are the 360 plus people, creators, these souls in the building. We're bound to them because I came here one day and checked the door counter, and it was on 1,200 people in one day coming through here, and it wasn't just one event. It was about 5 different events going on multiple floors, and I'm
Right.
thinking, where was all of this happening before the Vapa Center?
It's a great
It was
question.
happening all over the county in separate pockets, but it wasn't happening in one space.
Mm.
And it being in one space is what is binding that what you talked about together, and it's coming from the tenants. They're demanding that it stays here.
Right.
Um, corporate America is well, corporate Charlotte, put it that way, is demanding that it stay here
Yeah.
and progress from their support, their donations, their grants, um, city, and definitely the county. I mean, they we lease the building from the county for $1 a year. Let's be transparent. They take care of all the maintenance and utilities, and that equates to about what in our budget in kind, about
Utilities is 180,000 a year.
$180,000 a year in kind from the county. So yeah, I got some feedback from some people in the community. Nobody thought we'd be able to pull it off. Here we are, but we
Hey.
couldn't have done it without the support of the community. So,
Right.
and how does that move us forward? Well, like I said, we've got a responsibility now to these 360 plus people here, to the community organizations that come in and use the space that we're in, um, and to the future of the arts community for Charlotte. We're beholden to them now. We're ingrained in that. So
Jojo, I'm new in the city. I'm an artist. Where should I go, man? Like, what's the place I should visit? What's the place I should try to set up shop? Give me your elevator speech for Vapa.
Oh, I don't have a good elevator. I kind of describe it as Joanne does. I tell people, imagine every creative endeavor that you experience, like music you listen to, the movies, the podcasts, the art that you've seen in your home. Picture all that in one place
Mm.
and people collaborating with each other in one building, 3 to 400 people. That's about as quickly as I can summarize it, and then explain to them the dynamic of how that works. Like I can walk down the hall and ask another artist a question, or they can ask me a question, or whatever, or we just get together and chit chat about anything.
Feels like a college.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it
almost like
is.
a college campus party. Yeah,
It's like a college.
That's a good way to put it. It reminds me of being in college.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
When y'all were talking about your pop-ups and things that you had going on each floor, I'm like, Sears and Roebuck is just showing up again, right? You walk into this space knowing everything that you want is in one building. Everything. If you want to just look, dream, you want to shop, try it on, it's in this building still. So while it has the art aesthetic to it, there is still this idea of consumerism that is
Commerce.
surrounded, and it's affordable. Like, granted, no one's gonna have the money to pay you for what you're actually worth, right? Because if that happens, then the whole economy is just out of whack. I'm walking around here with $100,000. I'm about to spend it on a painting. It's crazy, but
I
that's
can do
what you're worth.
I can do that for you though.
Yeah, but it's what you're worth, right? But I think that's something else to speak to the idea of the elevator pitch. It's also, and if Joanne is in the building, where do I buy art and how, right? I think you can get informed at a space like this. It's not intimidating. Like, there's certain galleries I walk into, I'm like, it's too much wine and cheese in here for me. Not that you are not wine and cheese, but you are wine and cheese. Ritz cracker and a piece of ham, a whole hamburger, a turkey dinner, some foie gras. Like, you are all of the things inside this building. So my question to you is, for the consumer part of it, for the average person looking to find the art, uh, what is it that is the selling point for those people? Like, if I come
Well,
in,
yeah.
yeah,
Lee, you sell art, so you answer that one.
Yeah,
You're on
well,
the
I
ground.
was. I was just thinking of an example. There was a consultancy that wanted to buy art for a specific public building. Where did they go? They came here
mm,
because they had all these artists to look at and choose from. So I think you're seeing that there's such a range of different mediums being used for the visual arts, different talents. So where are you going to find that many under one roof that you can just peruse through?
And that's kind of what I talk about too when
Yeah.
asked. Is like there's so much variety, so many different mediums, and there's dances, everything here. So if you want everything in one room, this is one of the only places you can find it, no matter
um,
what you do.
we got time for just maybe one or two more questions from the audience. Y'all look like you have something on your mind. You're not sure. You can also ask in private if you're shy. But as we get ready to conclude for this panel, what are your final thoughts or reflections that you'd like to share about the journey so far, and of course the road ahead?
Repeat that, I'm sorry.
In terms of final thoughts,
Okay.
what are your thoughts about the journey so far and the road ahead?
It's been a long, hard journey. A lot of thanks to a lot of people. You know, I talked about the 13 founding members and Arthur, but all the tenants as a collective, all the help assistance we've received from around the city and the county, and we're going to continue to need it going forward. So,
Yeah. Um, I'm just excited about the future of just seeing what's happened in such a short time, and thinking of where we can go and how we're interfacing with the community. And I did want to say another shout out. We've got a lot of volunteers who are not artists that believe in what we're doing and come and help and think of families. And thank you to my husband who's helped just volunteer painting walls, doing stuff. And I've seen that with a lot of families joining in. It's not just the artists, but the support their network has come in. So that just increases the vision of what's happening.
Yeah, shout out to Dean. Yeah. Yeah, he's done a lot.
Jojo.
I look forward to seeing this place evolve. I mentioned earlier, I've already seen a lot of communities form throughout the building, and people build on each other. I think that's phenomenal. So I just look forward to seeing that continue and see where we take this.
Mr. Rogers.
How much time we got left? No. Yeah. Uh, where we've come from. Um, yeah, we started from the bottom. Now we're here. You know, that's the best way to think about it. But here is not where we're going to end up. We've got we've got big dreams. We've got big ideas. Um, we want to see an intentionally, purposefully built facility for the future of the Vapa Center. Um, whether it's in this physical footprint or not, but we need something that is going to be generational. That's going to be 4 or 5 generations. The next Vapa Center, in my the world according to Arthur, will be another 80-year-old building in the future. Somebody will be in that building 80 years from now talking about where that building came from, and it's still serving the artist community here in Charlotte. That's my vision, and that's what I'm working to. I think that's what we're all working to.
Amazing. Amazing. Y'all put your hands together for this amazing panel. Um, do y'all want to give your social handles and whatnot before we get up out of
No.
here?
I don't exist.
Okay.
No, no.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, you can find me here at the Vapa Center all the time. Um, but as I said before, I'm an artist first, so my social handles, social handles are Arthur Rogers Jr. All one word. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, something else. Yeah, X. Yeah, that. Yeah, I'm on too. Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, email. Oh, ArthurRogersJr.com. So,
Yeah, I'm like Arthur. I don't do a lot of social media, but I am Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So easy to find.
Yeah, same thing. Facebook, a lot of social media. LB Williams Art.
Yeah. Mine is Zulu Medusa. That's my website, Instagram, Facebook. You can find my artwork. Shoot me messages or anything.
And I'm Blues, BLUZ, BLUZ, BLUZ. I'm even on TikTok. Um, I do say make sure the things that you sort of walk away with today is how amazing the space is, but their plans for the future, their hopes, and all the things that happen in here. I think the biggest thing that you can do is tell someone who does not know anything about this building everything you know about this building. That they can come down here and just come in and check it out and walk around. It is it's Sears and Roebuck. That's so wild that this used to be a Sears, and what's happening right now is reflective of that. But anyway, Vapalution is happening all day. Stick around. There's performances happening. Like Joanne said, there's a list out front that's all, of a lot of things happening. Apparently, there is the most delicious cake that it could ever cake is happening somewhere around here. So go and check that out. But do talk to these artists. Ask what they have going on. Go visit their studios. There's an alcohol ink happening. It's not what you think. And I say you, I mean me. And then JoJo has some things happening in his space as well. And go talk to Ron to find out when all the jazz arts things are happening. The Weebop thing sounds incredible. If you have a little kid who has a whole bunch of energy and needs some jazz in their life, go talk to my man Ron. Of course, Arthur's everywhere. If you just need a light bulb change, he's your guy. Okay, so
that's it. That's what I do.
he does it all. He does it all. But again, my name is Blues. Y'all put your hands together for this amazing panel, and we will
One
see
other
you all
thing. One other
shortly.
thing. Hold on. I would be remiss if I didn't exercise my executive director duties and say, if you are so inclined, please visit our website and donate to Vapa. We are a 501c3, totally tax deductible. Your donations will go to help continue the mission of Vapa and keep creatives working here in Charlotte. So again,
And
thank you for all coming
where
out
they donate again? Say it one more time.
at vapacenter.com/support.
There you go.
Yep.
Vapacenter.com/support. I know
Yep.
some of y'all still sitting on that tax money, so let's go.
That's right. Thank you. Shout out to Blues. Thank you, sir.